Hey everyone, this is John B, aka Smooth Hot Chocolate here. So it goes without saying that I'm a pretty big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I mean, like one of the biggest ones ever known out there. And I didn't get to collect the cards back then until about maybe 2002 or 2003 when I started watching the anime for the first time on Kids WB. Damn, I miss that network on there so bad. But anyway, so a lot of the cards I have in my deck right here, I'm in my own box. My deck here is called Big J's deck, but of course it's nothing, um, you know, too tournament worthy and stuff. It's just for fun back in the day, and of course it's way beyond the amount that I actually need to compete with in the first place. But you need about, I think, 40 cards to make your deck, whereas this deck here has about maybe over 50 or 60, I guess, below. Go through them all as we show them off to you. As a matter of fact, some actually are not even really able to be used in tournaments too, which sucks. But we have here Dangerous Machine Type 6. Cool spell card here, where you just roll the dice, and no matter which what die you roll here, you get the chance to use one of these effects. You want to pause the video to see for yourself too, you can. Spellbinding Circle here. Now the thing about this trap card is that in the anime, Yugi used it a lot of times against his opponents, and it would not only make the opponent's monster not move or anything else, but it would also lower the attack points by 700 points. I was kind of bummed to find out that this card does nothing like that at all. In fact, in the GX series, when I think probably Cyrus used it against someone, it actually is the correct effect on it. Just traps the monster without even being able to do anything, and that's it. Lightning Vortex. This is kind of like a weaker version of Raigeki, where you have to discard one card from your hand and destroys all face of monsters your opponent controls. Nowadays we use Lightning Storm, which is a much better spell card to use than this one right now, but I still like it. Scapegoat. Yep. Nowadays, yes, use Magic card here, which shows how the card is really aged at this point. Magic card, and no spell card here. It's good to use for, if you want to do link plays, and for defense too, if you ever want to. Dust Tornado. Yep. So as soon as your opponent goes, you actually get the chance to activate this card right away. Destroy one spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. And here's the card I was talking about, or at least one of them, Heavy Storm. Destroy all magic and trap cards on the field, including your own too. That's freaking neat. But if you had strategy where it pays off, that'd be great. But yeah, this card's still banned. I think it will ever be banned, unfortunately. Ring of Destruction. Then we have your card destruction here, magic card. Alpha, the Magnet Warrior. Beta, the Magnet Warrior. Gamma, the Magnet Warrior. We got Magnet Warriors here today, baby. The old-fashioned Celtic Guardian. I swear, he looks like Link from The Legend of Zelda. He really does. The Secret Village of Spellcasters. If you control a spellcaster type monster and your opponent does not, your opponent cannot activate spell cards. If you control a spellcaster type monster, you cannot activate spell cards. And actually, no. If you control no spellcaster monsters, and you cannot activate spell cards. So it all depends upon if you have a spellcaster and you want to use spells. So it kind of locks your opponent from using spells if they don't control a spellcaster once it's field's on the sound of the field. Okay. Limiter Removal. Doubles your machine type monster attack points. If you happen to get the edge in your opponent. The only downside to it is that it destroys your monster at the end of the turn, unfortunately. Forbidden Chalice. Now this would be good if you wanted to go against monsters where they have very powerful effects, and this kind of negates their effects. But they get 400 attack point boost, which doesn't really do jack squat if your opponent really wants to trash you with their opponent's effects. Spirit Force. Yep, so to protect, it protects your life points from being damaged. And then you get to draw one tuner monster from your graveyard with 1500 attack points or less. I think Yusei used this card like twice back then. Shape Sister. So you special summon this monster trap and defense position as a normal monster. Fiend type 2 monster. So it's good for, you know, defense if you need something on your field like that. Master of the Curse. This card gave Yugi a lot of trouble back then in the Battle City tournament against Loomis and Umbra, actually. Fiend Mega Cyber, one of Joey's go-tos here. Some of these cards can still be actually used for tournaments, in some sense. You know, it could be either fodder or just if you want to just make a monster deck around warriors and dragons and stuff like that. This card's pretty good too. Rope of Life. This is good if you want to bring back your monster from the graveyard, because 800 tap 1 boost, but the downside to it is that you gotta discard your entire hand. But I guess it's only good if you don't have any good cards in your hand that point to activate it, so it's okay. Treacherous Trap Hole. Destroy 2 monsters on the field. You can activate this card if you have any traps in your graveyard. This was out in the Crossroads of Chaos back in the 5D series back then. Diffusion. I don't know why they use this card against other opponents' monsters. It's not the way it really works, I don't think. I guess it probably could be used, I guess, for that. But it was really broken back in the anime, though. Dark Magician Girl, the old school one, and limited edition no less, too. Yeah, she's hot. Enough said. Diffusion Wave Motion. Now, one episode when they did Season 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Against this guy that stole the Egyptian God cards, he actually used Dark Magician Girl with Diffusion Wave Motion here, but the thing is, this works on level 7 spellcasters, and Dark Magician Girl is, of course, level 6. But he managed to steal one, but errors. Or plot points. Gotta love him, I guess. Scrub Raid. This is one of Yusei's cards here. During the battle phase, you can send one card you control to the graveyard, except this card, in the battle phase. So this is kind of good if you want to use, you know, any fodder on your side on the field to prevent an attack from happening. And it just stops the outright battle, not just, you know, during that turn period during that turn. Mirror Force. I don't care what anyone says. I love me Mirror Force here. I will always use this on my deck. Gotta love that glitter. Gotta love that shine there. As well as Monster Reborn. When Zexal came out back in, I think, 2011 or 2012, probably 2012, it's kind of shocking to see Monster Reborn, one of the old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, being used in the anime, though. It's kind of neat. Jinzo. Joey's boy. Well, Joey's second boy. His first was always going to be Red Eyes Black Dragon, which I have in my deck here. And oh, lo and behold, here he is, the legendary Red Eyes Black Dragon here. Never mind, we can't put the black up there when it comes to the B part. We already know what it stands for. And Dark Magician. That's the altar art for it. How about Life Barrier? This is one of, I think, Alexis's cards from the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series. Send one card from your hand. During this turn, any damage you take from your opponent becomes 0. Okay. Summon Skull. Ryoku Field. Negate the activation of a magic card. That really shows its age for this card here. That designates one monster as a target and destroy that magic card. So, like, if you want to affect your opponent's monster with something like a, I think, like, some kind of effect that takes away their attack points or switches to mode or something, this card outright just destroys it. It's a good counter card. Graceful Charity. We'll probably never again see this card ever be used again. Discard 3 cards. Well, no. Draw 3 cards from your deck and discard 2 cards from your hand. I mean, any card that gives you like a draw advantage, as powerful as that, and of course Pot of Greed, which I think I have somewhere in my deck too, they will never come back because they're straightforward cards, and there's no way to really errata their effects because that's just going to screw the whole thing over. Why bother bringing it back then? Mahavilo. I think Taya used this card once against one of the big five, that penguin jerk. Arcana Knight Joker. Now this is a very cool monster card to use. I've never really seen Yugi use this card ever, actually, but I think I'll probably use this in my warrior deck one day too. Let's see what it says here. So you have to use the legendary 3 king combo, the three royal card combo: Queen's Knight, Jack's Knight, and King's Knight, and fusion summon must be on the card. Going to be done with the above monsters. I don't think any polymerization for this monster here, but pretty much any kind of card that you once per turn during the either player's turn, if this face-up card on the field is targeted by a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can discard the same type of card and negates the effect. Cool. And D2, this is a monster. This is for monsters that's in defense mode, and you double their defense points. It's pretty much good if you have like a pretty good monster on the field with like 3,000 defense points, and this takes the 6,000. You know, so it's not very easy to get over. Too bad effects, you know, don't take into effect though, because they can still be damaged anyway by effects besides battle. And then we have Compulse. Pop a monster back to your hand, opponent's hand. We'll always love this card. Swords of Revealing Light. Then we have your White Rose Dragon. So I did add some later cards into my deck here too. And then we have the legendary Black Rose Dragon, Akiza. Kunai with Chain. It's one of Joey's cards you use. Miracle's Wake. You target one monster that was destroyed by battle and sent to your graveyard. Its turn, special summon it from the graveyard. I know I'm not sure if you can see it, but this guy like that Starlight. There he goes. That Starlight ability to it. That texture to it. It's pretty cool. Solemn Strike. Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike. When a monster would be special summon or a monster effect is activated, pay 1,500 life points. Negate the summon of the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Very better than Solemn Judgment, because you're not spending too many life points to get off that effect. Magic Jammer. Discard one card from your hand, of course, negate the activation of the magic card, and destroy it. Simple as that. Fairy Meteor Crush. It's good if you want to pierce right through your opponent's monster's defense, and your opponent still takes damage, despite the monster being in defense mode. Buster Blader. Catapult Turtle! Drop off. I never really see Joe succeed with using this card. He used it twice, and it just kept on getting destroyed every time he used it. Poor Joey. Amazon Trainee. This is one of Maya's cards. I think it would have been one of Maya's cards. I think it was probably one of it probably would have been Tanya's cards from the GX series, but for one of the Shadow Riders episodes. Torrential Tribute. You can activate this card when a monster is summoned, including flip summon and special summon. Destroy all monsters on the field. Of course, you want to probably use this card when you have nothing on your field at the time, or if you have a monster that effects work when they hit the graveyard, then you can probably do that too. But this is a very good card too. Spell Shield type number 8. Select and activate one of the following effects. Negate the activation and this effect of a spell card that designates a monster on the field as a target and destroy the spell card. Or, you send one card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation and effect of a spell card and destroy it. Magic Cylinder. Negate the attack of one of your opponent's monsters and inflict direct damage equal to the attacking monster's attack to your opponent's life points. So this is probably good for a good FTK. Well, not FTK, but kind of like probably good for a if your opponent is pretty much down to their last few life points, you just want to take them out right then and there with this trap card here. It's a good card for it. And here we go, the all-powerful Raigeki. This will always be one of my favorite cards to just use and just pop all my opponent's monsters on the field or even though it hit them here. Free the Mattress General. This card came from the Legacy of Darkness back in 2006, I believe. Judgment of Anubis. This card doesn't really get talked about too much though, but this is a very good trap card too to use if your opponent uses a spell card. And you not only pop that, but you also get a chance to pop one of your opponent's monsters, and they take damage equal to the total attack of their attack points. Sweet card to use for a counter. And of course, we got Negate Attack here. One of Kaiba's cards. Swift Gaia, the Fierce Knight. It's good if you have only one card in your hand here. It's a lot better than that card, Goddess of Sweet Revenge, where you have to pretty much situate everything around it in order to get the effects off if you can. But this card is probably much better because even if there's one card in your hand here, it doesn't require you to, wipe everything off your board just to summon it. This card is great. Crash the Seahorse. It's good to summon if you want to summon a white monster. It counts as 2 attributes there, just 1. Oh, we got here another Dark Magician girl, but there's some of the alternate art. Nice legs. Black Pendant here. It's good if you want to power up your monster with 500 attack points. And when it gets destroyed, your opponent loses that much attack points in turn. And you get to actually add this card to the top of your deck, I believe. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know what I was thinking about. I'm thinking about another card, I guess. Magician's Valkyrie. Or Valkyria. Your opponent cannot select either... Sorry. Just on my morning so far. Sorry, guys. Your opponent cannot select another spellcaster type monster on your side of the field as an attack target. So this is only good if you have like more than one Valkyrie on your side of the field, of course. Shadow Spell. Now this is the card that I guess Spellbind Circle tried to be, but Shadow Spell is just probably much better because it actually not only makes your opponent's monster not be able to do anything, but they actually lose 700 points like they actually are supposed to. And then it took a long time to get to it, but we finally got Valkyrian, the Magna Warrior. That's probably good for just tribute fodder, I guess. And we have your Tyrant Dragon. This is one of Rex's monsters. Funny as to how it's a dragon type, even though he uses dinosaur monsters in his deck. Down to the last 2 cards. Have your Metamorph, which is probably much better by itself with Red Eyes Black Dragon instead of the actual Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon here. And then we have, last but not least, Ciara, which is a plain vanilla level 7 dragon type monster. It's probably good if you wanted to use, if you had King Dragoon, which I don't have in my deck here at the moment. So it's probably good if you had to, because it allows you to summon any dragon type monster from your hand. And this will count as 1, 2 to use. And that's it, guys. So guys, that's been my whole Big J's deck. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I am looking to get more cards in my other deck I'm constructing to, one that is actually consistent than this one is. This is just, for fun back in the day, but still, all my cards are still pretty much in good shape here, and I still wouldn't trade them in for anything in the world. I can't. Alright, everyone, take care, everyone, peace out, and love you guys.